promise, but we're gonna have to deal with the elephant in the room. We're gonna have to deal with this, and then no one wants to bring it up. Everyone's like doesn't want to bring up the fact that Nurse has some accountability with this. No one wants to bring that up.
This is good topic because I know everyone loved Nick Nurse last year, and Canada loved Nick Nurse, Doug. Scar wants to call in. Scar, do you have Discord? We'll see if we can make it happen. Download Discord and we'll see if we can make it happen.
Scar does not want any of these talks. I'm telling you right now, Scar. If you're on the opposite side, if you think that Nurse did something this year, you don't want any of these talks, my guy.
Vader, you might as well go ahead. So we're talking about, obviously, and I knew that this was bothering you from the last show because you downplayed it a little bit, but I could tell that a lot of it was rooted from the Casey firing.
No, what? No, you keep doing that.
No, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. It's what it is, dog. Be honest, I know that you didn't like Casey being fired, dog.
But they're not correlated.
Okay, fine. Let's act. And let's not let's act. Let's say they're not correlated. Okay, they're not correlated.
No, they have no correlation. They aren't.
Okay, they have no correlation.
For as much praise as Nurse got, oh, he's so adaptive. Oh, look at the different lineups. Oh, look at how he's experimenting with these players. You know how short that lineup was this year? All the trust that he had with all these different players wasn't there during this series in particular. Okay, all the creativity that was there was not what he was being so boosted and boasted for. Everyone's forgetting the fact that, and again, I know that because I had a conversation with someone on the inside. You know what I mean? You know, I got my connections, and obviously talent wins.
Yes.
So we had the conversation. He reminded me that talent wins. I get you. So Nurse this year, and Blaze, you brought up the point about whole Casey thing. The only thing I'll say is like Nurse this year did exactly. Actually, he did worse than what Casey did at his firing. And I'm not saying Nurse needs to be fired. He's only 2 years into the job. I'm not calling for that. But I'm saying all that criticism that Casey was getting, Nurse this year did what Casey was getting heavily criticized for. But no one wants to bring Casey any talks. He's getting the hugest blight, and I don't get it. Why is he so protected? What do you think of Nurse? What do you think of Nurse?
Okay, I will say this. When he first got the job, okay, I was like, well, he's kind of been granted a pretty good situation. Like Kawhi's coming into town. We were already good. We were already really good. And then we get Kawhi. So, okay, like there's not much more you have to do. There is, but his starting point was a lot further along than most coaches that come into a situation. It's fair to say that, right? So initially off the jump, I'm already thinking that, okay, he's kind of been given the situation. He better win the championship or be a contender. So he did that. He came through with the championship. But I feel like the response about his coaching was like, I'm not saying he didn't deserve his props, but I will say that he was praised for his amazing coaching as if he didn't come into a good situation. Like he had an amazing situation to coach from, and that there's like no one's talking about that. It's just the amazing coaching job of this guy who had 2 All-Stars, one of which was Kawhi Leonard. And it's
I'm gonna get to you, Scar. I see your points.
So I already thought that from the jump. So now, okay, this year he had to show that he could actually coach. They had an amazing regular season, so he showed it there. But Casey showed that too. He had amazing seasons, regular season. So it came down to, well, what are we doing in the playoffs? Well, how are we separating ourselves in the playoffs?
Nurse was getting so much praise. Like, yo, this man's innovative. This man's doing what Casey wasn't willing to do. This man's offensive is so refreshing.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch key moments in the playoffs last year to win it, it was the magic of Kawhi.
Right.
It was, we're going to run a play, but Kawhi's the focal point. We're trusting him to make the decision.
Right.
It's not like Menzo running through screens or, there's misdirections here with a pass to an off guy. No, it was Kawhi making the play. So Nurse got all his praise, big ups. It was so bossy for Nurse that they got rid of Kawhi, and everybody thought we could still be good without a superstar. And we got slapped in the face in this series. Yeah, mind you, it was close. We should have won it, but we got slapped in the face, being like, "Yo, who do you think you were not to have a superstar? I think you're gonna make it back to the NBA Finals. Your coach isn't that nice." Is how it goes out. Is how it plays out. All this trust into Nurse, nah, you're fools for thinking that you could go without a Kawhi, go without a star player, and move on. So now we're back to reality. Now Nurse is at the same level, but he's not getting the criticism. He's shielded. He's Captain America out here. Nothing's hitting this guy.
Yeah,
everything's getting
he's not
heavy on
taking any heat.
Siakam.
Yeah,
Everything's heavy on Siakam. And here's the thing that I want to say. I'm watching the game. I don't know basketball. I mean, I did go to Syracuse. They won a championship, but that's another story.
yeah.
I didn't play ball, but I went to the school. We could all see that the Celtics had crazy focal point on Siakam. They're like, we're not going to let this guy get his points. If he gets the ball, there's 2-3 guys paying attention to him. I kept saying, like, yo, I love that he's still aggressive, but who is the guy ready for him to pass it to, knowing that he's got that attention? He's being defended by Tatum and Brown, who are just as agile as him. I think it's just it truly is a bad matchup. Where's the adjustment? And I never saw that adjustment. I blame that on Nurse. And the adjustment should have been, again, taking the advantage from a size standpoint. You saw what Denver just did to the Clippers?
Yeah.
Yo, we have a big man. I know Gasol can't play the full game, but yo, feed that man to at least put them in defensive pressure. No one's defending that guy. Let him at least get 10, 12 buckets easy on the block. Wasn't happening. It was just I didn't think that Nurse was making the adjustments. And again, I know there's tons of comments. I'm gonna come back and check to it. But yo, all that praise, all that, yo, we've got the coach. He didn't prove it. And I was saying from time, it's not like hindsight. I was saying, yo, I'm not judging him on year one. Yeah, fantastic. Whether he won or lost, we won the chip. I wasn't judging him year one. I was like, yo, show me what you're doing year two. And it would have been, show me what you're doing year two, even if we had Kawhi. Show me what you're gonna do. And he didn't do anything better than Casey. Casey got coach of the year and got fired. Young Hall goes, Nick Nurse is Canada's Steve Kerr. Casey is Mark Jackson.
Real.
That's a really good observation.
It's truth, Doug. It's the truth. Because
it's a really good observation.
Casey, I mean, come on. Casey could have gotten a championship with that team, Doug.
With Kawhi, my guy?
Absolutely. He would have definitely gotten a championship, Doug. I see what you're saying. I don't know if I'm willing to just be like, he doesn't know how to coach right now. Because it was a weird season. It was a weird season.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he doesn't know how to coach. I'm just saying that everybody, and again, we've been in a few groups, messaging groups. Yo, the heavy talks for Casey. I don't know why men's are so respectful and Nurse is the guy. He's so likable. No one wants to say anything. He's Mr. Likable, and I get it. The media fans love him. He doesn't say anything wrong. You know what I mean? But come on, yo. There should be some criticism on what he was doing. And he's getting a blight. Oh, they didn't replace Kawhi. He's getting a blight. Siakam didn't play well. Well, you're the damn coach, yo. At least Casey had the guts to pull DeRozan and be like, yo, I'm going to try something.
Yeah. And I would have rated Nurse if he at least did something as far as that was concerned. You made a suggestion earlier about what he could have done, still utilizing Siakam. But he wasn't playing well, dog. So if you had to pull him, you'd pull him. At least you're proactively making an adjustment. Like we were just trying to paddle 100%. Out of a sinking ship, dog. Like it was just paddle 100%. harder, even though we're being flooded. In a game, this is the bottom line. If your team should have won, then you should win. That's coaching. That absolutely. It comes down to if your team is the better team, which I believe they were. They're obviously more experienced. Then it does come down to the coach because you have the pieces. So why aren't the pieces doing what they're supposed to be doing?
The whole praise for Nurse winning last year after what Casey did with the Raptor team, it's like, well, he had a finished product. He the metaphor is Casey baked the cake Nurse didn't even put the icing on. Casey put the icing on too. Nurse, no, Casey put the cherry on top as well. Nurse put the candle. No. Casey put the
This
candle
cat's
on as
going
well.
in with this
Casey
cake
did
analogy
everything.
right now.
And Nurse just lit the candle. Nurse lit the candle and won a championship. That's the example that it is.
But really, like, when you really think about it, Doug, think about the Siakam Casey had to work with as opposed to the one that Nurse had to work with. Think of the Van Vliet Casey had to work with as opposed to the one that Nurse had to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, DeRozan's gone. You get Kawhi. And then Lowry's going to do what he do. And then even Serge stepped it up.
Yep.
When he was with Nurse.
I just want, and again, I'm not asking you guys to kill Nurse. I'm not killing Nurse. I'm just saying, where's the criticism? You think I'm killing him? I'm not killing him.
You kind of are. It's fine, but you kind of are.
I'm just saying, where's the same energy that was for Casey for Nurse? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Scar said sometimes you have to move on, and J-Nate said Kawhi ran off with the cake as well. Yo, them two guys had a bet. J-Nate won some. How much money did you win off Scorpion? For J-Nate bet against the Raptors.
And real talk, other than an amazing play by Lowry and OG,
right? Yeah.
The series would have been done a lot sooner.
Yeah, and you could argue last year if Kawhi ain't hit that shot going into overtime, we don't know what would have happened with Philly. We have no idea. So is Kawhi is Nurse gonna take credit for that shot? It wasn't like it was a set play. It was basically give the ball to Kawhi and get out of the way. I asked Danny Green about it. That's basically what he said. There wasn't really a play. Just give the ball, get the ball to him. That was it. Okay, we can't totally take everything off of Pascal. This has nothing to do with coaching, unless it has to do with Nurse's ability to reassure his players. But I'm looking at Pascal. Okay.
Yes.
He did not look like he wanted to be on the floor, Doug.
Okay,
like
so you see that.
He looked, wait. He looked rattled, Doug. He looked, we were talking about it in the chat group. I was saying that he looks like the performance he was giving, he was coming across like a comedian who wasn't getting laughs. It seemed like the room was getting hot for him, Doug. He didn't look then it was getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Shut up. It was getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And I actually felt bad.
But it doesn't even matter. I'm not in your NBA elite chat group, so I don't know what you guys were talking about. But if you're seeing that Siakam was giving the body language, giving the performance that was like, yo, this guy doesn't look like he wants to be here right now. This guy does not look right. This guy does not look like he should be part of the five men on the court because he's a liability.
Right.
Why is he on the court?
I agree. I totally agree.
And why are you running the same things for him?
I agree.
So if that's the case, and now we go back and look at this game, like now you really expect some coaching to happen. And I didn't see it, man. I didn't see it. Again, I know Mens are going to give him a bly, just what it is, but it's whack.
J-Nate said mild P. Tabasco P.
No, J-Nate, I'm starting to hate you right now.
I did lose. I need to see something from Pascal. I might have lost. I think I lost a bit. I lost a bit of confidence in him right now, which is fine. I'm not disrespecting him. It's just what it is. And most people wouldn't even say it that nicely. A lot of people are just saying, he sucks. Get rid of him.
Yeah, that's the wrong memory for him. That's the wrong memory that we have for
Diana sauce.
He's going to bounce back.
Bland P.
He's going to bounce back.
All right, man. It's Nurse's fault.
I'm just saying Nurse shouldn't get a bly. I know that everyone has to have accountability. I'm just saying Nurse needs to be the first. Nurse needs to be talked about, and I don't think he is. It's all Siakam.
And this is just me throwing it out there, so you guys tell me. Don't kill me here. You're saying that he deserves the same evaluation, but here's what you have to consider. We didn't replace Kawhi. When it was Casey, we had DeRozan. So we had that star. We had that guy.
You didn't say he was a star. Stop it.
No. DeRozan is a star. I've always said he's a star.
He is.
He's a superstar.
You said he was weak-minded.
He is weak-minded. Absolutely, he's weak. You can be a star and be weak-minded. Why not? Of course, you can be a star and weak-minded.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's a
Agreed.
weak-minded star, definitely, absolutely.
Okay.
Right? But his abilities make him a star. Now, are you not going to consider that? Are you just going to pretend like we got somebody for Kawhi? We didn't. Kawhi walked. We
Yeah.
had DeRozan. We got Kawhi for DeRozan. Then Kawhi left, and we were left with our team. This guy still was second best record in the entire league, and still got to Game 7, right?
The Raptors did way better than I expected them to this year. If I'm being totally honest, Doug.
Exactly.
They did better than I expected.
Here's another lie. The negatives for Casey are quick to be said. The negatives for Nurse don't come up.
I
And
understand
all I
what
was
you're
saying-
insinuating,
What are,
Vader.
All I
what
was
are his
saying is-
negatives, though? What
Vader.
are Nurse's negatives, though?
Vader, I
You
understand
tell
what you're
me.
insinuating.
You tell me.
I don't see any.
Well, no. The
Whoa,
negative.
whoa,
recent
Doug.
thing.
Negative.
Keep doing it, guys. You guys keep falling back into it, where it's like Chris just said he doesn't see any criticism of Nurse. Scar is describing how Casey was and what Nurse brought to the table. I agree. Nurse brought a more offensive. He had a different philosophy with regards to the offense.
Oh,
And he was doing that while Casey was the head coach. And probably during crunch time, Casey diverted more to what he wanted versus what Nurse was probably doing. And that's where the conflict was, in addition to other factors on why Masai wanted to get rid of Casey. All I'm saying is the criticism for Casey as head coach, lack of creativity, short bench, whatever you guys observed, I'm surprised that you don't see those same problems with Nurse this year. You want to give him a blind and say there was no Kawhi replacement? Okay, you can do that as well.
If we had Kawhi in this playoffs against Boston, would we have won? Would we have won?
No, but Scar, that's what I'm saying.
easily.
Nurse didn't do. Kawhi was the difference. It wasn't this guy's offense. It wasn't this guy being super creative.
Yeah, it's true.
Kawhi's the air freshener. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, stop.
Sure.
One question. If we had
No, it's
DeRozan,
true,
if
Doug.
we have
I'm saying Nurse did not prove anything to me last year. I get what they did. They're like, Casey, we know what you are, and we know what you're not. Okay,
Right.
we're letting you go. Whoa, we bring in. Okay, so we're letting you go. We make Nurse the head coach. Now we're getting rid of DeRozan and we bring in Kawhi. We have the season that we have. I'm not giving the praise to Nurse. And I'm also not saying that championship run was because of his creativity or his freshness. Because guess what happened this year? Where's the freshness? The freshness was Kawhi. Kawhi's the perfect air freshener. Kawhi was the perfect Febreze for what was going on, and that Febreze is now dead. That little that air freshener is now dried up, and it stinks. It stinks right now, and men are giving Nurse too much of a blind.
Yo.
I don't care who the players are. I'm telling you, from a coaching standpoint, Nurse would have had the same criticism at Casey. I don't care who the players are. He looks super nice because it was Kawhi. We're seeing it differently. We're seeing
last year too.
But hold
We're
on
seeing it
though.
differently.
Hold on.
All
Though.
I'm hearing is a blind for Nurse.
Hold on though.
Kawhi had to put them on their back at certain times last year. You guys saw them do the same thing, the slumping with the shooting, the whole team. And Kawhi, I watched Kawhi. Do you remember one? I forget who it was against. Kawhi scored 9 points in a row. Do you remember that? Remember where he came down and shot 3 threes in a row?
Yeah, why is Casey getting props for that?
Doing nothing.
Yeah, but what he's
why
saying
is
is
Nurse
why is Nurse going to get the props for that? Is what he's saying.
No, he can't get a crops. No, he can't.
No,
get a
I'm not
Okay,
saying he gets the
but you
I'm
could
not saying he
say,
gets-
but there was that cushion for him to fall back on with Kawhi there.
you
Like you're
guys
kind of
are
saying what
wrong.
he's saying. Casey didn't have that cushion to fall back on, Doug. DeRozan
No,
was
but
there.
Casey he had fucking DeRozan.
He had DeRozan, but that's not the same type of cushion. DeRozan. Listen. DeRozan wasn't bailing Casey out in any situation. That wasn't happening, Doug.
Fair enough. And
But
you feel that Kawhi was bailing.
he
Nurse out
absolutely
last
did,
year.
dog. Because if Kawhi doesn't hit that shot, dog, and they go to overtime against Philly, I don't know what happens, yo.
They're done. Right. Okay.
So
fair enough.
is that Nick Nurse's coaching? No.
Hey,
You have
definitely
Kawhi
should-
and an injured Golden State, dog.
Guys, why do we keep giving Nurse a Blido? Do you hear it?
I hear it. I hear it.
I'm not even saying we need to keep Casey. All I'm saying is the energy against Casey,
Mm-hmm.
the review
No.
of Casey. No, let me finish,
That's what
man.
you're
Let me
saying.
finish. Listen,
With that
Nurse-
with that thing is
Nurse has a long leash because he won with Kawhi.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that long leash is all I'm saying. We can look at this series. I'm not saying fire the man. I'm just
I know.
saying, can we
Yeah.
look and see what he did wrong?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Have the same energy.
Was DeRozan the top player on our team the entire time Casey was here? Was
Of
he or
course.
was he not?
Yeah, he
Okay.
was.
And then we got rid of him and brought in Kawhi. And
Right.
they happened to get rid of Casey at the same time. With Kawhi, we got the championship. Now, anybody that's going to talk to you and say, oh, and talk about Nurse before Kawhi, well, they're idiots. We know that. All of us on this conversation now don't agree with that narrative. What we are talking about, though, or what I'm talking about anyway, nobody else has really said it, is for you to say what you're saying and it really to stick, you would have had to replace Kawhi.
Curtis, do you think that okay, we had a DeRozan back when Casey was there, but after DeRozan and Lowry, who was available? Because you can't say Siakam because Siakam was nowhere near what he is now. You can't say Van Vliet because Van Vliet, matter of fact, I think the last year Van Vliet got injured. I think he only played like the last 2 games or something like that and didn't play well.
Shoulder, yeah, I think you're
Yeah,
right.
so
His
you-
shoulder, right?
So
Shoulder.
the supporting cast, Serge was playing okay. Serge had just gotten here though, so he hadn't really like immersed with the team and the culture and all that. He was very new, so there was a lot of people who are contributing now that weren't contributing then. So is it fair to say that
Okay.
Casey was kind of making up for what he was lacking in those positions back then, as opposed to Nurse now? Even though we don't have someone who replaced Kawhi, we still have a bunch of other players who are playing at a totally different level than they were back then. What Casey had to do.
Okay, good point. Good point. I think
So under those pretenses,
we can look at it that way. Yeah.
right? So
But
under
here's
those
the thing, here's the
pretenses,
thing.
then you have to be a bit more critical on him because he has some pieces that Casey didn't have.
No.
He didn't have a star. He didn't. Wait. No. I'm not saying this is totally. I'm just saying you have to take it into consideration.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree with you.
It wasn't like a total. It wasn't a total. Okay, he's missing this piece, so he's doing shit with nothing.
Yeah.
He had some pieces that Casey didn't necessarily
Let's call
have.
it a level playing field then. Let's call it.
You can say it's level, and if it's level, then you have to be just as critical. Then you have to be just as critical.
I think
So under those pretenses,
we can look at it that way. Yeah.
right? So
But
under
here's
those
the thing, here's the
pretenses,
thing.
then you have to be a bit more critical on him because he has some pieces that Casey didn't have.
No.
He didn't have a star. He didn't. Wait. No. I'm not saying this is totally. I'm just saying you have to take it into consideration.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree with you.
It wasn't like a total. It wasn't a total. Okay, he's missing this piece, so he's doing shit with nothing.
Yeah.
He has some pieces that Casey didn't necessarily
Let's call
have.
it a level playing field then. Let's call it.
You can say it's level, and if it's level, then you have to be just as critical. Then you have to be just as critical.
That's the thing. But were we just as critical with Casey in his second year?
Right.
No,
Were
but
we? It's
but
2
we were
points.
critical with him when he had come into his own. The team was playing the best it's ever played. It was the best season we
so-
ever had.
Why would we then criticize Nurse in his second year? He won a championship. All right,
Thank
give it
you.
to Kawhi.
Because this is
Thanks,
the
third.
this is
but
the
that-
first this is the first season. This is the thing. If we're gonna praise him while Kawhi is here for his coaching prowess, then we have to be able to look at him critically at the same time when they don't play well. Because
That's all I'm saying.
we were quick to
No,
praise
but
him last year. You have to admit people were quick to praise him last year.
I mean, I'm saying he did a good job. I don't think we should
No,
praise him.
that's not what people in Canada are saying. Canada thinks that this guy saved
Nurse is
Canadian
amazing.
basketball, dog. People think he saved the Raptors. No. The talks are that kid that.
Casey. We said he was
Yeah.
better than
Okay.
Casey.
Now. Okay. Now let me ask you a question.
We said
Do you
that.
think it's fair? Do you think it's fair to say he's a better coach than Casey when he was given Kawhi Leonard? He has a refined Fred VanVleet, a refined Pascal Siakam, a veteran Kyle Lowry. You have an established Serge. Or you think it's fair to just say, okay, he's better than Casey?
What? You know, let me tell you.
Okay, so Kyle Lowry, 8th year in the league. DeRozan, 5th year in the league. It's their second time in the playoffs. Casey's, what did I say? Casey brought them to the playoffs in his 3rd year. So that's his 4th year. Yo, respect on that follow, my guy. So it's now the 4th year for Dwayne Casey having this team. And we're all agreeing that DeMar DeRozan in his 5th year is the best player on this team, and you guys also don't rate DeMar DeRozan when he ends up being a 9th year vet. So this team, I agree, they shouldn't be swept. The team shouldn't be swept, but him not doing more, come on, guys. Him not doing more with this, Dwayne Casey not doing more with this team. Like, what are we talking about here?
Just not get swept.
It's true.
So, and not get defeated the way you have.
So you think Nurse wouldn't have gotten swept with that team, basically?
I don't think so. Nah. I mean, it's hard to say.
Why? Look at the team that you were asking Casey to bring that out of. And you're saying that Nurse is able to make players play, basically. He's the one that's bringing the best out of them, right? Yeah. But you have to consider the fact that these guys have developed at the stage when Nurse gets to them. These guys have playoff experience. They even have this now. They're champions now. He has a championship team. These guys have championship experience now. They're gonna have that type of attitude. They're gonna have that rapport that you guys are saying that the coach is bringing out, quote unquote, bringing out of them. These guys are vets now, dog. They have savvy. They have all of that on their own.
Amir Johnson was the most senior player on that team that got swept.
Dag.
What I'm getting at is you guys holding Casey to being swept. And when you look at this roster and you look at the experience all across the board to that team versus what Nurse did with this team minus a replacement for Kawhi and the veteran leadership and the experience of a Kyle Lowry and the other players along their roster, you're going to see why Nurse hasn't gotten swept yet. You're going to see what Casey had to work with, what he had to mold. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Now I get you. Now later, when they're getting swept by Cleveland, we can go through that roster. I agree. It's not acceptable to be swept. But to lose against the best player or second best player to have ever played the game is harsh. I'm okay with the excitement, the decision to get Nurse, the decision to let go of Casey, and all that praise, recognizing what this guy's bringing as a coach. But I want the same energy to now question where was all of this creativity, this genius with this series. And all I'm hearing are excuses for him. Siakam, that's all I'm hearing.
Nick Nurse himself said it. He said, yo, I don't know what's going on. Like, Siakam's our guy, and he's not showing up. Kyle Lowry, why did Kyle have to say, boy?
That's not a good thing for a coach to say, though, dog.
What do you mean?
That coach,
out, dog.
That coach took no responsibility. No, coaches can't do that, dog. No, I didn't even know he said that. I didn't even know he said that, dog.
Specifically.
That's a horrible response, dog. That's a horrible response. I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know, the man. Give him chances. I'm not or nothing. You can't do that, dog.
Call him out.
No, dog. That's not a coach thing to do, dog. No. I wish I didn't know that. I'm glad you're telling me this at the end of the argument.
What would he say, Blaze?
If I was a coach, I would
Yeah,
say
what would
we
you
have to, even if you want to dance around it, we're gonna have to go back and just review how everything went, because it's a team game. I don't really want to put it on one player, especially not after reviewing everything with another eye. So at the end of the day, we're a team, and we all lost this together. That's it. Not a whole. I don't know what was wrong with that nigga. Shit. He's prepped. He was prepped. He just wasn't doing it. So shit.
All right. You know what? Okay, let me.
You can't do that,
let
dog.
me just. All right.
And I doubt. I've never seen Casey do anything like that remotely close. Like, even when DeRozan was struggling, you would never put it on him, dog. You would rate him for the fact that DeRozan was a big reason why they even got there in the first place.
I'm not sure why he's been so out of rhythm since the restart. And
Wow.
Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of great games.
But that's the truth, though.
I think that's more of it. Other than here we are in the playoffs, and he's supposed to be our leading guy. And just
Whoa.
not sure he's been in great rhythm since the restart. It's too bad because he was spectacular in last year's playoffs. He was spectacular all season long. So we still got some games to play. Hopefully he can get his rhythm.
Yeah, come on. Now, come on.
No,
this is before Game 7.
This is
That's
before Game 7.
7.
I thought it was after. That would have been worse if it was after.
Still
If I'm a player and I hear that, dog, that's not gonna make me play better. That's definitely gonna make me be more self-conscious about the fact that my coach don't even know what's wrong with me, dog. But all he's talking about is saying I'm out of rhythm. He doesn't know what's wrong with me. I was playing well before. He doesn't know what's wrong with me now. Like, what is that, dog? And a coach should never say what he just said, dog. Not in that. There's no way that you ever deflect it like that and put it on the player like that, dog, or make it seem like, oh,
He should have shared the responsibility.
Fair.
No, but he did
He
though.
could've shared
But that's the thing. He actually did. If you hear what the reporter asked him, he's like, "I know you said that you're part to blame for, or like you would take responsibility for a lot of what Siakam's going through." Like he said it initially. So I think there was a question that came before, and he took the blame as a coach, and then the guy followed up and tried to.
He went further.
deeper.
No,
Yeah.
by no, there's never a reason to.
No, then
ever
he
put
repeats it.
Yeah, you should. There's never a reason. Yeah, there's never a reason for him to reiterate that, dog. Ever. Let the press say what they want. Cool, you guys say what you want, but this is what it is. We're a team.
All he said was the guy was out of rhythm.
If you have a girl and then you guys get married and then her girlfriends are asking her about your guys' sex life and she's like, I don't know, like before the marriage thing happened, he was putting it down. But since we got married, I don't know. Like he just doesn't have the same rhythm, yo. Like something about it is off. I don't know what it is, but yo, if she went and ran and said that to her girlfriend, she'd be pissed, dog. I don't care how bad her rhythm is, yo. Don't say it like that, yo. Make your girls think I'm putting it down and then discuss it with me.